Yo, what's good? What's good? It's your boy Time Out, aka T Matrix. And we're back again with another conversation, man, real quick, And I just like looking into, these different videos that I see. And and I'll be liking to talk about it, right here. This particular video that I'm about to talk about is right here. This is the video. It says she married a rich guy and left when this happened, basically. Right. So I ain't even finished the whole video. But I just wanna sit and I wanna pull it up, talk about this. Because I think this needs to be talked about. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I want to state that I don't own the rights to this video. All rights are retained to the creator of this video. And I'm going to cut out the part at the end, the dude that actually was talking about it. He didn't... I think he created just a little short about it, whatever, and then he might have expounded on it later. But I'm about to talk. I just want to talk about it, man. So here we go. Let's see here.
So me and my husband, we met when I was 25. I'm 37 now. We got married pretty quickly. We've been married for about 11 years. We have 2 sons, 6 and 8 years old. So my husband, he's always, since I met him, been, an entrepreneur. He's 15 years older than me, and when I met him, he really had his stuff together. He had a bunch of money, and that.
Okay, let's pause it for a second. So she met her husband when she was 25 years old. He was 30. What she said? He was 31. I think he was older than her, basically at the time. All right, he had money. He was, he had his affairs in order. He had everything taken care of, everything together when she met him.
He won me over. Like, I can't really tell you exactly what he did, but I just know that he was an entrepreneur and he had his hand in a lot of different businesses. We had a 5-bedroom house. We had staff. We had, a maid. We had au pairs for the kids.
So the husband was financially stable. He was financially stable. He had a lot of things going on. He had his affairs in order, right? To the best of my ability. Now, I wouldn't wish this situation on. First of all, I just want to say that I wouldn't wish this situation on anybody. I'm gonna just continue because she hadn't even dropped the bomb yet. So let's go.
Just the works. I never worked our entire marriage. My day would consist of, bringing the kids to school. Sometimes the nanny would bring them, but sometimes I would bring them. But most of my day would be having lunch with the girls, going to tennis class, going to Pilates, shopping at Saks, brunch. Well, 3 years ago, my husband had a stroke, and things have...
Okay, so she was basically a live-at-home wife. She didn't have to work outside of home, you know what I'm saying? She did have nannies. She had optional choices on whether she wanted to take her kids to school or whatever. She had a whole lot of options. But this man was taking care of business. He was taking care of business until he has a stroke, right? So
drastically changed. He never recovered from the stroke. Like, the right side of his entire body is paralyzed.
He never recovered from the stroke. Right side of his body paralyzed. I wouldn't wish this on nobody.
He has lapse in thought. His speech is severely slurred. And so he hasn't made any money since he had the stroke.
Okay, here we go. Now we get into it. So since he's had a stroke, he's not been able to work. Right? He had an issue that happened to him that's preventing him to do the same thing that he used to do, right?
Able to work, and so now we have to get full-time care, and so the money that he did have dried up pretty quickly, and
the money he had dried up quickly because he's not able to get any new money.
I ended up having to get a job, so I've been working for 2 years now, just trying to pull weight or whatever, and about 6 or 7 months ago. 7 months ago, I put my husband in a home because I just couldn't care for him anymore. And this just wasn't the marriage that I signed up for. Like,
okay, see, now this is the part that I kind of, this is the part where it goes left. All right, so to me, and this could be just to me, man, like, we have this whole new generation of people that they get married for better. They get married for better. But then when worse comes along, they don't stay, they out. Okay, yo, so this is future me jumping in the middle of this this joint right here, right? And this is the one that I've been leading up to getting to, right? So as you can see, you see the picture in the background, right? You see the picture in the background. This is the girl who got married, 25 years old. Husband was like 30 something. Husband had it going on, all kinds of money, all kinds of everything, right? And like I said, basically she said this ain't the marriage that she signed up for. All right, I gotta come in and say, look, when you signed up to get married, that's exactly what you signed up for. And you want to know the proof? You want to know the proof? Like, I had to sit and think. I had to sit with this video a long time before I actually released it. I had to really sit with this video, and I had to think. I had to really think, right? And I sit and I thought about it, and I said, do I have any family members who have experienced this? I had to sit and think with it. And while sitting and thinking on this video, I put this video on the back burner until I sit and thought about it. And I thought of my aunt and my uncle. I thought of them. That's what I thought of. I have an aunt who her husband was exactly the same way. Like, he took care of business, he paid bills, he worked, he did everything until he had a stroke. And y'all, when I say that my aunt stood on business the whole entire time for that man, and that man stayed in that house with them and lived with them, and she took care of them. See, this is love. This is what real love is. This is what real love is, man. Like, this is what real love is. This is real love. Like, that man made sure that she was fine throughout all her younger years. And then when they got up in age and he had his stroke, she did the same thing for him. She did the same thing. She took care of that man. And you know, the crazy thing about it is, like, when the children see that, it builds even more character in the children, because I have like my two cousins. I have a cousin, a girl cousin, and a male cousin. Like, you can see the character. You can see the character within their lives. You can see the character within their lives. Like, because you look at their lives and you say, oh man, like my cousin, I'm trying to not say names. I don't want to say names, but my cousin, my girl cousin, she's an amazing woman. I think she's married. I think she's married as well, if I'm not mistaken. Her older brother, he's married. His son is about to be playing for the NBA. Man, like, you can see the amazing character in that household. You know what I'm saying? And where you think that character come from? Where you think it come from? Where do you think it came from? It come from the pillars that were there originally. It come from the pillars that were there originally. Y'all, I went back and forth with this video, man. I shelved this video because I said, man, am I going too hard? I thought, am I going too hard? Am I going in too hard on this particular girl right here, this particular lady? I thought, you know, and I was very delicate with the video. I was very delicate when I was talking about it. You know, I went back and forth, you know, trying to, you know, look at all aspects. And then it dawned on me. I said, man, I have an example right in my family of somebody that went through this same thing. And I said, whoa. I said, I can't believe, oh my God, I overlooked that. I overlooked it. I really overlooked it, y'all. So I had to come in and chime in the middle of this video, like 5 minutes and 37 seconds in. I had to chime in and be like, look, man, I had to come say this piece. But now that I have said this piece, I'm going to go ahead and let the video continue. I'm gonna let them they leave. When worse comes along, they try to leave. They straight up ready to leave, ready to go, you know. And I want to talk about this because, y'all, like, when you get married, this is the whole reason. This is the whole reason. Like, if you are going to entangle your life with another person, right? All right. When they say those vows are for better or for worse. But for some reason, a lot of young people, a lot of this young generation, like, they only hear the for better. And they're not trying to, what's this right here? This package will run a program to determine if your software is able to be installed. Whatever, okay, cool. My bad, y'all. I was in the process of updating my Pro Tools beforehand, and I didn't know that this message was going to pop up, but it's all good. All right, continue. Storage. Yeah. So, I'm going to let this run in the background, right? But anyway, like I said, we have this new younger generation they get married just for better, not for better or for worse. But when you get married, when you're up there, you know, and the preacher is telling you this for better or for worse, for sickness and health, for richer or for poor, to death do you part, for as long as you both shall live. That's what the preacher says, right? But we have this whole new generation that's not in it for better or for worse. You know, they just in it for better. If worse comes along, they out. Now, I don't know, like you know, just for me to sympathize for a moment. I don't know how long she endured whatever this was, but I do know that from hearing how she is speaking about this installer, she like to modify app. I do know how she's speaking it. Okay, like access files. Okay, I do know from how she's speaking on this issue, man, like, her mindset was not for worse. It was for better, not for worse. Like, I can tell that straight up. I mean, she's a very beautiful woman. You can tell she's a very beautiful woman. But sometimes it ain't always about. It's not always about the beauty, man. It's not always about, you know, the superficial side of it, you know, whatever. Because this is the thing. This is how we switch this. This is how we switch this situation around, right? And it makes it so bad. This is the second video that I ran across that had a similar situation, right? So, all right, this one particular one, right? All right, so let's play devil's advocate for a second, and let's switch the roles around. Okay, all right, so we gonna continue on right here from right here, right? All right, and uh, yeah, this is for better or for worse, part two, right? Um, I'm probably gonna connect both of these together, but yeah, so like I was saying, man, the lady, like like I already went through her whole situation, but then like I said, we play devil's advocate, and let's flip it. And there was a man. It was a man who was he moved to the Philippines, and he moved up there and he found a wife, right? He found a wife, and he vetted her, as far as like they did. It was not an arrangement. Like he just met this woman and fell in love with her, and it was no scams or nothing. Like everything was checked out. Like he talked to the family. He talked to her, whatever. Like he went through all of the processes, all of the correct stuff that you do when you meet a woman from out of the country, and all of everything checked out, whatever. Like she was not trying to run no play on him or anything. The family was not trying to run no plays on him, And this man met the woman, fell in love with the woman, and over some time, they ended up getting married, So, what happens in the situation is the woman, she gets diagnosed with an uncurable illness, right? An uncurable illness, and the man reached out to one of the ladies on YouTube, a Philippine woman on YouTube, for any ideas or advice, right? And the woman, she gave a whole bunch of different scenarios. She was like, well, she said that's a hard one. She don't really have no answers for him. You could probably, because at this point, he's taking care of all of her hospital bills, and they're not really too expensive, in the Philippines, and his job, I think his job is in America, and he was wanting to move her and him back to America, to continue their life, but she came down with this incurable illness, and the man is like, should I? He's really talking from an emotional standpoint, because he truly loves this woman, and he really is like, I don't know what to do, and he's going over back and forth in his head. He said I could move back to America and just continue to keep taking care of her financial obligations, while she's in the Philippines, and then he can possibly move on and get married. But then he says if he gets married, he will always feel terrible because he really loved this woman. Like, the very fact of him even saying that lets me know that this man's heart is in the right place. And and this is no bias, because like, he is really, man, he is torn up about this thing. He was really torn up about this thing, and the difference was very clear. It was a clear difference. I was like, this man actually cares about this woman. This woman right here, she like, I ain't signed up for this. That man ain't say that. That man ain't say that. He knew he signed up for it. And he is really turmoiling over this thing, so that's why I said, man, like, yo, when you get married, man, like, I'm gonna say this, and this might sound stupid, but I'm gonna say this. I think that it's not enough seriousness put on when you get married. It's not enough seriousness put on getting married. It's really not enough seriousness, and I could sound real stupid, because the thing is, what I think is the mind frame of the person that wants to get married at the time. Like you're like, man, I really want to get married. You know, you really want to get married, and you're really not looking at all the good and all the bad that could happen possibly in a marriage. Like you're really not looking at it. All you're looking at is, I want to be with this person for the rest of my life. And really what you're saying is, all I want to be with this person for the rest of my life, as long as everything is fine and everything is good and there's no mistakes and nothing happens and nothing bad goes down. You know, that's what you're really saying at that point. If you're immature in your thinking, you have to be mature in your thinking, because marriage is like, it's a serious thing, you know. And I know a lot of people I've seen, you know, different ones, you know. I've seen people that's been married 3 and 4 and 5 times, you know, and like and I mean, and some people use marriage as a way to get more money, man. Like, you know, some women, they get married to a man that has money, and stuff don't go their way one minute, and then they want a divorce. And then they collect alimony from that. Then they get married again, and then they get with another man, and things don't go their way, and then they want a divorce. And then they collect alimony from that marriage, and then they do that 5 times, or 4 times, and then now they done collected so much money, they've amassed so much money from all of these alimony checks that are coming in from all these failed marriages, and now they look like, if you look at them, you like, oh man, they well off. Yeah, they well off, because they done collected all of that doggone money. Come on, man. Like, come on, man. So, like, marriage is a very serious thing, man. It's a very serious thing. I mean, it's so serious. It's so serious. And you know, like, stuff is not always going to go the right way in a marriage. Stuff is not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect, but that's what you signed up for. And as I say that, I speak to myself. You know, like, if you got married, that's what you signed up for. You signed up for it. So if your marriage is suffering, then you have to at least do all you know to do to make it better. And if you are doing all you know to make it better, and the other person is doing all they know to make it better, truly, I say truly, then, you know, man, y'all just have to work together to make that thing work, man, you know. And it's not hard. I mean, it's not easy. It's gonna be hard, because that's what it is. Like, if you sign up for marriage, you sign up for hard work. You know what I mean? And if you have a willing participant, meaning that they're willing to work it out and willing to work through it, you know, hey, I mean, it's a deep thing, man. It's a deep thing. But this situation, man, like, these two situations just kind of like I wouldn't wish this on nobody. I wouldn't wish it on nobody. And even I gave you the dynamic of my aunt and my uncle. You know, my uncle, he had the stroke, and you know, and she took care of him all the way to his last days, to when he passed away. And my aunt, she's still alive to this day. You know, she's up in age, and the crazy thing is, like, she's in her 80s, and she moves around and gets around like she's in her 30s. Oh man, what you think, man? Hey. I'm just saying, man, like, y'all, marriage is a serious thing. I wish people realized how serious marriage was, you know, because you're taking your life and entangling it with another person's life, right? That's why it is important to vet the person that you're going to get married. It's important to vet them. And the thing is, and even in your vetting them, even in y'all having all those tough discussions, before you get married or whatever, you have to also realize at that point in time that people's ideologies and people's the way they think, and it can change over time. It can change over time, right? You have to realize that too. Just because a person is doing this one thing, that don't mean that they're gonna be doing that one thing forever. And when I'm talking about thing, I'm talking about like the biggest things that the conversations in marriage is finances, religion. Those are the two biggest things: finances and religion. Because people always say that marriages can't survive just off of love, right? They always say that, and they really can't survive just off of love. It takes hard work, because love is just one. It's just one aspect of it, and but love is a powerful aspect of it, because love will make you do some incredible things. If the love is there, love will continue to lead and guide you to do some incredible things. So I'm not making love weak. I'm saying love is powerful, but the main thing, and then religious purposes, people's ideologies can change. People's belief systems can change, and you have to be prepared for that too. If you married, if you yourself are a Christian, if you yourself I hate saying Christian. If you yourself are a church-going follower of Christ, right? And you marry somebody who is a church-going follower of Christ, right? As of right now, those roads can still be those roads. As of right now, in that current moment, everything could be fine. But then, if one person decides that that's not the path that they want to go on, then you're still married to this person. So y'all have to figure that thing out. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen situations. I've seen other marriages in churches where they have figured it out. I'm talking about preachers. I'm talking about preachers where the woman might be like the preacher, and then the husband, he done kind of like he unsubscribed to a lot of the stuff, but they still figured that thing out to death to it part. The husband passed away, and the woman still kicking, still going strong, and because she figured that thing out, and she followed it by the book. She didn't treat that man any differently because of how he did things. She still honored, loved that man, and the vice versa. Maybe the woman is the one who unsubscribed to it. If that's the case, that man is supposed to treat that woman the same way that he treated her. He's supposed to love her the same way that he loved her, and you know what I'm saying? Like, work that thing out. You know what I'm saying? Work it out. You got to be able to work it out. And if you can't work it out, if you've tried all you could try, at that point, then I guess you're gonna have to bring up that D word, you know what I'm saying, and get a divorce. But the divorce should be the absolutely last option. It should be the last course of a development. It should be the last course of a development. Like, after you tried everything to make it work, that's the only way the divorce should only come up. That's the way it's intended. And a lot of young folks ain't really with that, man. They don't really get it. They don't really understand it. You know, they ready to leave when stuff don't go their way. That's not what marriage is. You know, like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, you really ain't signed up for better or for worse. You signed up for better. You ain't signed up for worse. You signed up for doggone half of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens. These people who get married and they signed up for only half of it, and then the person is only given half of it. They only given half of it because you only signed up for half of it. There's a lot of things that can happen in a marriage, you know. There's a lot of things that can happen, you know. There's women that ready to leave like over the least little thing. There's men that's ready to leave over the least little thing, you know. And hey, that's not for better or for worse, you know. Now there are some deal breakers. Infidelity, infidelity is a definite deal breaker. You know what I'm saying? I understand those things. I understand that. We're not trying to weaken infidelity, you know, as a deal breaker. We're not trying to weaken that. But we're talking about if there's no infidelity and it's just that y'all not in agreements over certain things, you know, like, I mean, things that can be worked around, things that can be worked to made better, you know, do the work, man. Do the work. That's all I got for y'all, man. It's your boy Time Out, aka T Matrix. And we gonna go ahead and end it right here, man. Peace.